Thanks everybody for the 4th local AdWords Academy training. I'm super excited to build on completing the AdWords account. We covered the quick setup. We covered the positive and negative keywords. We covered last week the creating the ads. And now it's time to do some setting work, the account setting. So let's see what we cover today is shared library. So shared library covers budgets and the bid strategy. We're going over campaign settings, the campaign type, the target area, devices, the bid strategy, and ad extensions. And last but not least, we're going to log in a live AdWords account. This, for 99 sure, you will face and see, wow, I got a lot of data, but what can I do with it? How can I structure it? So, like I said, in a shared library, you have the power of setting budgets. But I never want you to forget this, because this is very important. Local business owners, they love ROI. They understand that to make money, it takes money. They understand that very well. They always think in investment. But one thing they really hate is spending more than agreed. So if you have agreed on, an AdWords budget from $1,000 a month, and you would spend $1,500, and even they make kind of good money on it, they don't like that. They see, okay, you spend it $500 more, so you don't want to come in that situation. You can lose a client because of that. Everybody got that? Don't spend more money than agreed, at least not significant more. Okay, so keep that in mind. So it used to be hard to do that in AdWords because you could only set up budget per campaign. But to be honest, I was a big motivator with it for Google to say, I need something that I can combine all those campaigns together. And a couple of months ago, they implemented in shared library. In a shared library, you can pull those campaigns together and set a budget for those campaigns. So now you have control about the total account spent. Okay? So in a shared library, you can share the same budget across different campaigns. And don't worry, I'm going to demo that to you. The only thing that you need to remember at this point is you can set a budget across all the campaigns. Sounds good? So before we go further, I want you to ask a question to the guys, to you who haven't been on the call on 2 p.m. Okay, there's a question for you who was on the first time on the call, and the question is, I find it hard to determine the optimized max cost per click for the keywords, and let me show me what I actually mean with that. Okay, so let me share screen. Okay, here I'm in the auto repair, and if you remember from last time, I said just enter $5, correct, for the cost per click. You remember, cost per click, $5. And I got those questions. Jack, is $5 good value? Couldn't it be $4? How do you know it is $5, not $4, $6? How do you know that $5 is an optimum value? Do you agree? Do you remember that you had that question in mind? How do I know what is the best value to bid on for a keyword? So go back to my question. So my question today is, I find it hard to determine the optimized maximum cost per click for the keywords. And let me do a poll. Okay, so let me do a poll, and I want you to answer that question. Yes, I agree. I find it hard to find the right value. Or no, it is easy. Okay, and you answer that if you were not on the 2 p.m. call. Okay, so I'm going to close this because I think we have all. Are you guys seeing the results? So 90% said it is hard and 10% it is easy. So my goal is by end of this training, you will find it easy. Does that sound good? Do you guys like that by end of the training, it is easy if you enter, yes, it is hard. To me, I would love that. So, okay, back to the training. Are you guys seeing the presentation again? So, we're going to work in a shared library. And in a shared library, there's something like the bid strategy. In the bid strategy, I just showed you that in the ad group, you can set a maximum click per cost. You saw that for each keyword. In a shared library, you can set bid strategies. Wow, bid strategies. Okay, so let me log in an AdWords account. And you see on the left bottom the link shared library. And then you have bid strategies. Click on view. And you click on plus bid strategy. And now you see a couple of strategies. And we only need to know two at this point. The one is maximum clicks. So the maximum clicks is Google is bidding on the keywords in such a way that you get the maximum amount of clicks for your budget. Wow. Do you guys realize just what this feature does? Google is for you adjusting the bids in just a way, adjusting the bids for each keyword in just a way that you get the maximum amount of clicks. That is just what you was looking for, not? How should I bid? $5, $4, $3, $6? No, you don't need to. You need to activate this feature from Google. Okay, so the next bid strategy I want to just explain, okay? And this enhanced CPC, enhanced click per cost. For that, you need to have enabled conversion tracking. And with conversion tracking, now Google is adjusting the bids for each keyword that you get maximum conversion and maximal results. For a new campaign, you don't have past conversions. So you start off with maximum clicks. At the moment, you get 100 clicks per campaign in 1 month. You can switch over to enhanced cost per click. Okay? So what you're going to do is, you start with max clicks, you implement a conversion tracking system. Once you see good conversions, you're going to switch to cost per click. That is fine-tuning the campaign. Okay, that is just a certain knowledge you need to have. There's nothing that you can understand so much. So just remember, start with maximum clicks, implement conversion, and see at a certain point if enhanced click per cost makes more sense. Does that make sense? Okay, and to set up conversion, that will be separate training. Now, I did that. I set up enhanced cost per click and I set up maximum clicks, what we can use later on. Now, going back to the presentation, where are we? Okay, in ad group, you set maximum. In shared library, you can set bid strategies. Bid strategies can be used to manage bids for specific keywords, ad groups, and campaigns. And that is just what we are looking for. You can maximize the clicks for bids. Those are the two bid strategies: maximize the clicks, that is where you want to start with, or enhance cost per click. So maximize clicks results set the bids to get the most clicks within your budget. Wow, no work on your end. That is why Google AdWords takes so less time. You can automate so much more than you can imagine. But you have to set up a solid campaign that you get results. Enhance cost per click is that adjust your manual bids up and down to get more conversions. Okay, when you have a conversion system set up, you want more conversions for the budget you spent. But first you need to have you need 100 data point from the last month in order to make Google a good adjustment. So start with maximize clicks, set up conversion tracking, and then when you have more than 100 conversions per campaign per month, switch campaign to enhanced cost per click. So that is just what you want to remember. Follow those steps and you're good. Okay, so next chapter, campaign settings. First, we have the campaign type. We set up the target area and you can adjust the bids for devices. You set up the bid strategy and then there's something like add extensions. So the campaign type, you start with search network only. For the network, you select Google Search Network plus include the search partners. Devices all, and you can change the mobile bid adjustment. So we will go in once we get some conversions going on. We can make a more and preciser call if you want to bid higher for mobile keywords on mobile devices. So this is something what nobody has told you before, but something what you want to do. In the locations, you want to set up zip codes. You want to set up cities and you want to set up the target area as a radius. So if you target a whole state, you don't need to target enter zip codes. But if you're a local business with 5-10 mile radius, you want to do the zip codes, the cities, and the radius. Once you get conversions in, you can see where the people live in which area, which resulted in those conversions. And it could be very well that they live in a certain area of the city. It could be very well that some cities perform better than other cities. It could be very well that some radius, let's say within 5 miles, within 10 miles, within 50 miles, would perform better than other radius. You guys get it why I'm doing that? If you don't set those area tags, you're not able to group them anymore. Okay? So, bid strategy. Select the flexible bid strategy and select the created bid strategy from the shared library. So we will demo that to you. Now let's go to the AdWords campaign. Time for some real training. See if I can change the screen. Okay, so we go back to the campaign. We go on the campaign level and we click on settings. Campaign settings. All settings. You want the search network only. You want Google search plus the search partners. You want all devices. The locations you do per zip code, you do the radius and the city. You just click on edit, advanced search. You can here enter the radius. You can enter here the city and the zip code. You see this? So I already did the radius, the zip code, and the city, and you have to enter all the zip codes. Okay? Network, simple select. Language, you can target English or you can also do Spanish or other language. Bid strategy. This is your answer to your question where you said I find it hard. You click on edit and then you scroll down and you see select a flexible bid strategy. You see that? Select a flexible bid strategy. You select that and then you select maximum clicks. That is all what you need to do. You set up maximum clicks in shared library as in group and you link this campaign to that bid strategy. Everybody get this? So in shared library, we set up the maximum clicks. Sorry, I don't know what happened. Shared library, we set up maximum clicks, give the name, save it. You don't need those optional information. Then in the campaign, you go to settings and there is a bid strategy. In the bid strategy, you select the flexible bid strategy and select maximum clicks and you click save. Okay? So everybody understand how to set up flexible bids, what Google is doing for you? This is a lot to remember. Yes, it is. And I want to provide a lot of content for you. So let me ask that question again for you. Everybody see the question? I find it hard to determine the optimized bid for each keyword. Enter yes, it is very hard, or enter no, it is easy. And do you guys just realize that you have become a professional and almost almost nobody. Oh, okay. I will tell you something. Okay, so let's close this and share this. Now, 88. You see, guys, 88% is just the opposite. Said it is now easy. You guys see this? How you became a professional AdWords manager by knowing a couple of things how to set up. So this is what I wanted to ask you. Do you know in your neighborhood, in your friends, somebody who's an AdWords manager? And ask them how do you set up the bid for a keyword? I bet almost nobody knows this strategy. Okay? That is how good you have become. Now, delivery method. Local businesses likes and works the best if they get the call in the morning. So you want to select the accelerate method, okay? Then schedule. If you want to ask the business owners if the goal on the website is a call, do you want to have the call 24/7 or only doing business hours? So you can set up and schedule for that, and you can add and change the schedule. Everybody understand that? The schedule when your ad is showing. Pretty simple, but something that has to be set up. Now the last thing is ad extension. And you need to set up a couple of extensions. Side links is that below the ad it shows a link like about us, discount, coupon, location, map. All those links you can show below the ad. And if they click on that name, that map, discount, coupon, it brings you to a certain place of your website. Okay? It enables you to get more space on the Google search page. And more space means more attention. Local attention, local localization means you can add the Google Places account, the Google My Business account from the client to the ad. So it shows the address below the ad. Very powerful. Sometimes you don't have the Google Places information login. So you need to have the username and password for that. Call extension. You want to show the phone numbers. You want to show the phone numbers on desktop and want to show the number mobile. You want to distinguish that so you know which number has called the most. Okay, there's one important element on it. So let me edit a phone number. So you want to enter a phone tracking number here. Okay, so we go further later in other training why we want to do a tracking number. The other thing is you want to use the Google forwarding number, and that is if you select the Google forwarding number, you are able to link the click, which keyword was used, with the phone number. And that enables you to do better optimization, you know which keyword works. And once you get a lot of clicks, you can use enhanced click per call. So tracking is very important. Okay, Google, you don't need, but you want it. Okay, not every local business owners like that. I agree. Okay, this number is from Google, and this number is something what you set up as a tracking number. This Google tracking number get to another tracking number, which you have all the freedom to do something with it, what I'm going to discuss later. Then call extension and call out extension. Like there's another way to get more real estate below the ad, like all types auto repair, engine repair, electric system, oil change. So did and gives you the option to request more real estate around the ad, so your ad is more attractable. Okay, let me go to back to all settings. I think that's it for ads. That was not too hard, isn't it? No, there are not too many settings. I'm just speak slow. Okay, so search network, Google search and partner, all devices. Okay, here you see all devices, and you see here those three groups: computers, mobile device, and tablets. And in the mobile device, you can enter in percentages, and the percentages will enable you to bid more or less for certain keywords, for the keywords, if they get used on a mobile device. Okay, why do you want that? Some campaigns, some niches work good on mobile and some not, so you have some control in it. On the mobile, only 2 ads are shown. On the desktop, 10. So if you want to show on a mobile, you say I want to show on the second place on mobile, but on the desktop I'm fine with the 4th place. That's fine. You bid just more for to show higher on a mobile device. Target, bid strategy, we went over it. The budget. So let's assume that the client wants to spend $1,000 per month. $1,000 per month, and you have a campaign which is only active during the week, Monday to Fridays. So 4 to 5 is 20 days. 1,000 divided by 20 is $50 a day. So that would be $50 a day, correct? So you go to shared library, and then you go to budget, and then you set up a new bucket, or you change the section button, and you see budget is $50 a day. Okay, and I want to change this name then also to 50, because then I don't need to remember what the setting was. Okay, now it's $50 a day for this bucket, and this bucket, you see, has all the campaigns connected to it. So the total spend will be around $50, can be $49, $51. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's about the campaign settings. So what have you learned so far? General setup, keywords, ads, and campaign and bid strategies. Okay, so I know there are some plus and minus like video, so I'm not going to outside what works, okay? I give you a blueprint. If you follow, you get results. Which one was called to click? That's an other type of campaign. That is not search network. If you create a new campaign, you can have only call to click on a mobile, and I'm not going to cover that because I tested it out and it does not work all the time. So how do you decide how much to budget per day, $10 or $50, etc.? That is more or less what the client feels comfortable with. So if the client is okay with a $1,000 budget, a $1,000 budget per month, and you divide it by the days, you get a spend per day. Do you help clients decide how much they want to spend? Yes. Okay, that's a very good question, Alexa. So first of all, I want their business. Okay. So I start off, you're seeing good positive ROI, and I give an example. If you put $1 in, you get $5 back. So at a certain point, I get a credit card. Okay, within a half hour. Then I'm going to tell, let's ramp this up to see everything is working well. So if we agreed on $3,000, so I'm going to say, the first month we maybe spent $500 or $1,000. See, everything is working. You get used to the code, and you on your end, you can see if everything is working. And there's always things what you need to tweak, so you can optimize it with a limited spend. And once you see everything is working, you ramp it up to the budget your client agreeing. And maybe he's so happy, he said, can you even get more? And I have many clients who said, okay, it's unlimited, because they always see an ROI, but new clients will not tell that easily. Will the client question you about how many leads he will get for his ad spend? Yes, he will. So, Phil, this is how I tackle that question. Phil, do you have a headset so you can be the client? Do you want to role play with me? So, the question is easy. I'm first going to ask, what is the average earning from a client? And let's assume you are a dentist. And he said, okay, on an average client, I earn $75. And then I'm going to explain a little detail. I said, okay, so the first time you earn $75, it's more likely that he comes back because you provide good service. Yes, yes. So we have actually in budget $75 to bring in a client. Yeah. So how many clients can you handle each month extra? Most said, 20, 30. So for 30 clients and you earn $75 per client, so the marketing budget is an actually 750 plus 750, 1500 plus 750, 2250. Yeah. That is how much we can spend to bring in clients. And I said, yeah, so we ramp it up quickly, and then I ask, slowly, then I ask, when can you handle those new clients? and they always say no. There's nobody said next month. Okay, and then I say, what is your credit card number? So that is how the process works. It's easy. It works all the time. Really, it is. It's so easy. So then the campaign is running, and what you want to do is set up tracking. You want to set up a conversion method, and you want to set up call tracking. So you get data, and with that data, you can optimize it. Okay? Now, very typically, what they earn on a client, you don't spend. Okay? You don't spend even half of it. That is very typically. And if you do call tracking, you can listen to the replays and see what's going on if there are complaints. But I'm going to discuss that in a later training, so that you have some proof along the way. Does that make sense? So what you want to do is, you want to set up a conversion method, and you want to set up call tracking. Hijack, is there a sample agreement you provide in your customer for the admin's account server? Yes, there is. So I don't know if I'm logged in. You go to resources. I think, is it here? AdWords PPC managing prospecting sample and AdWords PPC management sample. What is the conversion method? Conversion and tracking is a complete dedicated training. I don't want you to confuse you more than you are. You can only handle so much information. So it's coming, okay? We have six more training, but it's very important. Okay, let me go back to the presentation before I forget. Everybody see the PowerPoint? So we did the questionnaire. Budget set amount spent per day. Delivery method set accelerated. Ad extension very important. Schedule, put in the timing that the business owner can receive calls. I'm going to do a live AdWords account review. Okay? I'm going to look at the click-through rate, the keyword grouping, how they are grouped, the campaign settings, the conversion settings, how many negative keywords are used. I check out the website. I analyze the search keywords. I'm analyzing the locations, which location works the best. I'm going to see which devices work the best. And some homework. I don't want you to forget that. You set up a shared budget. You know, set up max clicks and set up a campaign for your own city. You don't need to run it, but you want to have it set up. Once you get used to the interface, it is very easy. Can we do that homework if we don't have a client? Yes, you can. You just do not fill out the credit card, but you can have everything set up. If you don't have entered the credit card, it will never cost you money. Okay, and before I forget, next week we're going to discuss how to optimize a website to get maximum conversions. Wow, that is a big thing. Now the campaign is ready. You send it to the website, but your website needs to convert. That's the last step. That's a very important step in the campaign. Okay? Then I'm going to provide you 500 negative keywords, which are very typically for almost any campaign, and for sure for car repair. Now, when you set up a campaign, you are good to go, okay? You don't waste many clicks. This list is worth a lot of money, and a lot of time is in it. Everybody like that? So this is what you get for next week. Now, let me go to a live campaign. Switching screens. Everybody see an AdWords account? I'm logged in a client, a real client, all time since 2012. She's advertising Google and she spent $28,000. This is very typical. There's nothing strange on this. Okay. She has 2 campaigns and one is top buggies. Okay, the average click is 0.9%, which is not that great. Okay, so that's the first signal I get, which is nothing special. Then I see here, you see Google build. I say, wow, so Google built that for them. That tells me 2 things. One is the owner probably don't have a lot of knowledge, otherwise you don't need to have Google set up. And the second one, if Google set it up, let me say this in a certain way. Your guys know more than an average Google account manager. Okay? If you implement the steps you learned so far. So now going to the ads, and I see 2 ads. I don't see mobile ads, 2 ads. They are approved. Thanks God. Then the click-through rate is not high. Average position is pretty good. Then go to the keywords, and then I see a lot of different keywords. They are not grouped. I see keywords. Who thinks that Maltese is a good keyword? Oh, you don't know yet, correct? Because you have to see the website, what you're trying to sell. So you sell puppies, Maltese puppies. Okay. So would be Maltese a good keyword? You think Maltese is a good keyword? It's too general, correct? Can be for anything. Art, you got it. So what you want to do, and that is where the work comes in, you select, you do details, and you select 1 second, let me select it, the search term. Okay, and now you see all the keywords who has been entered by the searcher to land on before they click on the ad. Now pay attention, okay? I set up a filter, create filter. I said performance. I only want to see if I have more than 10 clicks. So I only want to see kind of the keywords which people use when they click on the ad. So now all those keywords, they have at least 10 clicks. And then you see that download button, and I want to download the results. Download it as an Excel file and then open it. Okay, so let me try to bring that to your attention. Switching screens. Okay, so now I got all that information. I got impression, the keyword. So far we did at 2 p.m. But I promised you that I'm going to process all that information. Okay? And that is what I did between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. And now you guys see this screen. Let me make it bigger. And let me explain me. So I extracted the negative keywords. Okay? I grouped the keywords which were related to breeders and kennel. You see that? I grouped them which were related to teacup puppies for sale. You see that? For sale, for sale. But I decided also if it had a local intent, Miami, I feel kind of that is also, I'm looking for something to buy, because I think if you enter a city, it's kind of, I'm ready to buy. So for sale, city. So I'm going to group them too. Then I grouped them teacup puppies. But now watch. They don't have a local intent and they don't have a for sale. They still have a lot of impressions and they still have kind of clicks, but I feel I have to group them different. You see that? Teacup puppies and teacup for sale. You see that? I feel I have to group them differently, because if I add the conversion tracking to it, I might not see that high conversions. And if I run unlimited budget, I think I see here better conversions. I see here better conversions than without for sale and without local intent. So that is why I group them together. You see that? So teacup puppies might work. I don't know yet. I think it works, but I feel if they have for sale, they will have better conversions, and I want to bid more on those keywords than on keywords which doesn't have for sale. Everybody get that? Then the same for Maltese puppies. I grouped them if they had for sale or they had a local intent. Because if they are entered for sale or they have a local intent, I feel I'm easier to make a conversion, that they make a phone call, than they don't have a local intent of sale. But Maltese puppies can still see color, whatever what they have in mind. Okay? So I decided to group them differently. So what I did, while you might watch watching TV or whatever, what you did, I transferred this long list, okay, 172 keywords. I transferred them to this overview. I put the keywords in a separate tab and I named the tab with the main keyword. I sort them with the highest impression on the top, and I kind of decided what is the main keyword. Okay? Because around that main keyword, I want to create my ad. So once I have this in an Excel file, now it becomes easy to enter them in a campaign, correct? Everybody following so far? Yeah, but crap. I'm going to have learn Excel. Okay, you don't need to learn Excel. If you use another spreadsheet, it's fine, okay? So you don't need Excel, you need a kind of tool like that. If you don't know something like Excel, it's time to learn it. Okay. So it's just time that you learn such kind of tool like Word, Excel. It's basic. Okay. So you're going to create articles with those keywords? Yes. Do you know why I get high quality scores? That is the secret to get high quality scores. They have all the same intent. You see that? They are looking for breeders. Just a kind of a little bit. They are looking for breeders. With the I will get high quality scores because every keyword in that group have the same intent. I can optimize the ad, and I know I can track it, and I know exactly what's going on. If this, maybe when I add conversion tracking to it, I see this works better than for sale. You know, I don't know, just saying. Now I can play with my bids. If I have a limited budget, I can say, okay, I want to spend my money on breeders group. Everybody get that? You need to group your stuff. Same intent. Okay? Is this person your client? No. Are you on the call? Alexa, is that your, somebody is on the call. Alexa is your client, correct? I forgot, but somebody asked me for that. Somebody asked me to use this example today. And once I'm finished, that client is happy. And somebody, Leonard, is Leonard's client. Yes, Leonard client. He asked me, sent me his information in Facebook. Hey, Jack, do you want to review that and use that example? And I agreed on it. Okay? So the simple step now is to put this in AdWords. You guys want to see me to put that in AdWords? The last step. So I put the Excel file on a second screen, and I only show the AdWords screen. Otherwise, I have to open and close every time, change from screen. So that doesn't work so good for me. Okay, let me go back to AdWords. And I'm showing you a trick. Okay, it's not a real trick. What I mean is something that I love. And Google does the same. One second. Do you guys see? This campaign? You see the top up is Google build. You see that? Now I'm doing something tricky. Okay? Click on campaigns and I add a campaign. I do search network only. And then I'm going to use the main keyword. 1 second. The main keyword was Maltese puppies. And I do dash Jack. You can't believe how many campaigns end with dash Jack. They always remember me. Even when they cancel my serve, they don't, but when they log in the account, they will see dash Jack. And they see, wow, they see always the old campaign and they see the new campaign. So search rank all features. Then load setting from an existing campaign. I'm not going to do that. I do United States advanced search, and I remember that what the setting was. Let me go to that area, general. It was 120 mile around Fort Lauderdale. Radius target 120 mile is a lot, you know that? Around Fort Lauderdale. Let's see what brings up. You see Fort Lauderdale? So remember, we do add, and then I would do cities, Fort Lauderdale. Do you guys remember why I do that? Miami. Okay, I'm not doing all. So you see that? I'm going to enter all the cities around it. So once you get some conversion tracking, I know at a certain point which cities works the best. Okay, then language English. So I'm going to ask the business owner, are most people speak English or they speak other language? And if they speak other language, you add those language. Okay, then the basic option, advanced options, default bid. Let's just do $1, and the budget was $20 a day. But I'm still building it, so not sure what I should do. So I do just $1 at this point, but then you change it to $20 once everything is ready. And I don't have the location Google Business information. So if you want to add that. Site links. So I want to add with site links. And you remember, those have all different websites. You see this? So I just take the header of the link and I take the URL. So I did that. I prepared that in an Excel file. And one was the about us. Add site link. Second was designer breeds. This is, once you know the strategy, it is just work. There's nothing difficult. But the great thing on this work is, once it's set up correctly, it is good for a long time. And you still get paid every month. And I know for sure this campaign works much better than the previous campaign. So I don't have any doubt that the client is not happy. So I don't need to work very hard for this campaign once I have set it up. You can always work to make it better and better once you have time, but you probably are aware that my time is limited. So I put a lot of effort in it to set it the first time right. Okay, so those are the site links, and I save. Then extend my ads with a phone number. Yes. So you see there's already a phone number in it, and this one, and I want to make one phone number is for mobile. So one is for mobile and one is for and this needs to be in tracking phone number. It's not at the moment. Then you want to say call out. You have some room to make some extra call to actions below the ad. Okay, so on the website I found toy puppies. I found over 20 years in business. I found that she's a registered breeder, but that probably doesn't fit. So registered breeder. Then I found honorable and trustworthy. Okay. Then I need to decide when I want to show the ad. She wants to have only phone calls, so I'm going to start at 8 p.m. probably to 9 p.m. Okay. Then 8 p.m. 9 p.m. 8 p.m. and probably I guess she's also okay to receive phone calls in the weekend. Something to verify, but it's what I think. Just work. You guys see that? Once you have that Excel file, it is just work. Okay, and then you save and continue. Then the ad group name. Now I did my homework with that breeder. You guys remember? Each step is a new group. So, and typically my main keyword is also the group name. So I know what the intent is of that group. Headline. So I'm going to use more or less her ads at this point. They actually did convert not bad, or they did really have a not a bad click to rate depending on how much you wasted on certain keywords. So let me do that. You see here, call Mira. That is a nice call to action. She has a short name personally, so that is actually was a good move. And then which website are we going to send them to? Breeder. The breeder, you see that? I wanted to send them to this page because it's about breeder. Okay, before I'm going to in the dog stuff. So this is the website, and now I'm going to work on the display URL. Top puppies.com. And let me do breeder. Breeder. Okay, so I feel that looks pretty good, not? Then enter one keyword per line. So going back to the Excel file, I copy the keywords. And you guys entering questions, but I don't see them quite well. So then I copy and paste the keywords and then I save the ad group. Okay, so now I see campaign 1 has been created, and let me toy puppies Jack. Okay, toy puppy Jack. You guys see that? First Maltese breeders campaign is created. Go to the keyword list, and I going to enter the negative keywords, which I also collected in the Excel file. Add the keywords, copy and paste, save. So all the keywords that I found are now in that too. What does the ad look like? I don't think Google has a preview of the ad, so you have to search by yourself. They have a search, but without the ad extension. This is what you do. Once you have the Excel file ready, you enter them in groups. You want me to do other groups too, live? I see no, yes, 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 sure, yes, please. One more. Okay, one more. Then click on the campaign, click on add group. And now you see the sign plus add group. I'm going to name them with the main keyword. Okay, so I know what the intent is of that group, and I'm never going to change that, the intent. All the keywords in that group are geared to that, and for sale is very important. Okay, so Google going to repeat the last ad used. I'm going to the website, and I'm going to click on Maltese. You see that Maltese, because that is where the group is about. Then I changed that final URL to it, and top puppies, and I'm going to teacup. Actually, it was teacup, correct? Teacup. So then the keywords, copy and paste, default bid in dollar, 50 cents, I think. Save ad group. Okay, so the bits are at this point not so important. So this is second group. Wow, now it goes quick, correct? Doesn't take that long anymore. Then teacup puppies. Once you have that Excel file ready, 90% of the work is done. Everything is group. Save ad group. Now, the next one, Maltese puppies for sale. Name the group correctly, so I know always the intent. Same. Oh, here actually Maltese. So I'm going to show that in the display URL. Then I'm going to add all the related keywords. You see, there's a lot of keywords now. 0.50. Save ad group. Then what was the next one? So the Maltese puppies without for sale. One second, it was not good. Rename. Maltese puppies. Maltese then. The bid, save ad group. Okay, so I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and Google had only one. Okay, so those are much better. I go back to the ad, and I also going to enter the second ad. So they had a good second ad, so I do copy and edit, and then I just like to split test. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this copy and edit, and I'm going to make that mobile first. Okay, now I have a desktop ad and a mobile ad. Okay, copy and edit and make also mobile version. Select the ad, I copy it, I select the mobile checkbox, and I save it. Now let me check. So the Maltese breeders is the main keyword, and I see a Florida breeder, so that more or less is in alignment. And I love that in the title is for sale. So I'm clearly from the beginning that I have something to sell on the website. Okay. So Maltese puppies, so that fits perfectly, and for sale, so that's good. Maltese puppies for sale, that is 100% good. Teacup puppies, and this is where I screwed up. So I want actually, instead of Maltese puppies, I want teacup puppies for sale. Okay, so I get better conversions because of that. So now the group name and the keywords are in alignment, and the same for teacup puppies for sale. So that was a small correction. Normally you take some more time and you're going to see which ads are the best, according to the method you learned last week. So one more thing, you guys know what I'm going to do now? I go to shared library and I set up budget. One second, let me see. So here it was $20, and how much was here? $25. So I'm going to set a budget for $45. Shared library, budget, create a budget. Budget name is $45 per day. $45. Delivery method accelerated and save. Okay, so now I can select it and apply to campaigns, and I want to apply to all of them. So now I stay within the budget, $45 a day, whatever happens. What's the next thing I'm going to do is I don't want to care so much about the bidding. So I click on view, add the bid strategy, maximize clicks. I give the name maximize clicks. Okay, I leave this open and I include my new campaign, Top Puppy Jack, and I save it. So now my bidding is all done. Okay, now Top Puppy Jack is pretty good. You see how guys, how simple it is by simple steps. I group them, I add negative keywords, I have a desktop ad and a mobile ad. I group all the keywords and I have the bidding done. Okay? And now the last step I would do is set up conversion tracking. Make sure that I get conversions, and at a certain point I know exactly which keyword works the best. What was the negative keywords for this ad? So I did in the Excel file, I also extracted the negative keywords. So you have to do some study for that. So I can go on and on and on with this, but this is a very good base. As well as yours, no, I didn't. Since it is targeting the same, those were not my keywords. I downloaded the Excel, the keywords, and the keywords, and I extracted some negative keywords. So let me go to the negative keywords list and you will understand. So you see video, TSU, temperament, shelter, rescue, pictures, free, cheap, behavior, adoption, and the and sign. Would you keep the Google bid on? No, but I cannot make that determination. Okay, it's not my. I love to have it in the campaign because at a certain point they will see the old campaign and the new campaign, and I love. Probably Leonard is going to change Jack to his own name, but I love to have my name in it so they remind me. It's kind of a branding. Google does the same, Google build, but they didn't do an extensive job. You see, the Google build is one group. You see that? It's one group. They didn't split out things. I will have much better quality scores. Okay? Because they have all the same intent. That is the secret. Okay? They all have the same intent. And now I can also optimize the ads by going to with the ad that has the most impressions. I can go doing my homework with the Excel file. You wouldn't think that Google do a better job since it's where their money comes from. Yeah, not everybody can get trained to with 2 million ad spend, Karen. It takes time, huh? to get on that level. So they only get a couple of weeks training. How often will business owners allow us to go into their account to optimize it? I would turn that question around. Do you allow that business owners have access to your account? Typically, I don't give them. But if they have set up the account, they probably don't want to give it away. So it's a kind of a tricky. So the tricky if to lose that client, because when they see this client, this results, and they get good results, they see this campaign and get good results, they might think I can do it now by themselves. So it's a little bit tricky. So is your ad spend 2 million per year for 2005? No, it's in total. As you create a new campaign under your account, yes, that's what I typically do in the MCC account. Why is the and sign a negative keyword? I feel that I look at the keywords and I feel the keywords with the and sign are not really intent to, there are more keywords that look for information. I'm not going to show my ad for information. I want to make a sale. So always keep that in mind. You want to pay for a click if the intent is to use your service or to make a sale. If they are looking for information, I don't need them, at that point. They will come to my website when they are ready to make the sale. I have a limited budget. Most of the time you have a limited budget. And I rather spend the money when it is a good keyword, when the probability is the highest that you make a sale. Okay, you enter not the credit card number in the MCC account. Each credit card number goes in each sub account, but you create account for each client, but in each client's account you enter the credit card. So the credit card is related to each sub account. Where go to the right and go to billing. You see that gear wheel? You go to billing. Okay, this current balance, make a payment, billing status, billing profile. Can we link the client's current account to our MCC account? Yes, you can. And that is, if you follow my advice, you have a Gmail as your MCC account email, and that makes it a little bit easier to link accounts. So if you go to the account settings, if you have the login, and then you do account access, and then you click on add users and enter your MCC email and your name. Okay, and then you want to have standard access, read only access, email access. Oh, standard access. You can do it from here, or if you have that number here, you can go to your MCC account and you can ask if that account agrees to link to it, and then you have to agree on the linking. Okay, there's a lot of information today, correct? You guys can consume it. it's getting deep. Yeah. Will the video be available for what for now? Yes, yes, it's all recorded at this point. Karen is taking a month to make the PDF. Jack, please define Google Build. So sometimes Google offers to create a campaign for a client. Okay? So they did that for this client, but I created my own. So now it's not Top Puppies Google Build, now it's Top Puppies Jack. Can we do something next week with my client? Yes, we can. Okay, if you do you guys want I review another campaign next week? I think when you see that a couple of times, you you will get good in it. So Sean said the call only ads are not performing well. Now let me. I tested a couple of times and I thought that was the greatest idea what I heard for a long time from Google, and I didn't get the results I expecting. So I have to explain a little bit more for everybody what it is, but I'm not promoting it at this point. Are you in an MCC account now or customer account? I'm actually in the MCC account from Leonard. From Leonard has linked that account with the client's account, I think. So that is it. That is it. You know, there is nothing more to it. You know, keywords, ads, general settings. Okay, 3 elements: keywords, ad, general settings. You guys got it all with this training. Okay, so once now you kind of saw how I converted an existing campaign in a much more targeted campaign. Okay, this campaign, so I'm very curious to hear at a certain moment about these results. Is your preference to create a new account for the client or to link to existing account? My preference is that I get access to their account and create a new one, because I want to be in control. I don't want that they can cut me out. If I'm the creator of that account, they have a hard time to cut me out. So that's my preference. But typically, you just use their account. How would you do your campaign? Shut down Google or bold or just by budget? I don't know, like too many abbreviations. Why would you keep running the Google created campaign? I would not, but it is not so. I cannot not make that call. It is not my campaign. Leonard has to do that. Okay, but you want to go to all campaigns, and the only thing what you need to do is select pause. Okay, so Leonard, are you okay with that? Or you want to think about that? So it's not something that I can decide. It's not my client. If this was my client, I would do it, yes. Do you use the AdWords edit to build campaigns? Yes, and I will demo it at a certain point. Please show the homework again, okay? Homework. Arlene is ready with eating. She is ready for the homework. Okay, so homework. So next week, homework. Set up a shared budget in the library. Everybody can do that. By now you should have a demo account and play around with it. You don't need a credit card for it. You're going to look up where that link is, the shared library link, and you set up a shared budget. Okay? Very simple if you know how to do it, but important because you don't want to overspend what is agreed with the client. You set up max clicks. Okay, so you're going to set up that bid strategy. Then set up a campaign for your city. So remember, city location is zip code, city, and what was the third one? Zip code, city, and radius. Good, Rick. You got it. Okay, next week you're going to learn how to optimize your website for conversions, and you get a negative keyword list which you can use. Michael is confused. So first you said to create a new campaign in your account. Now you said to use the client's account. I'm confused. Okay, Michael. It depends how you, if the client already has an AdWords account. Assume the client do not have an AdWords account. So you create it by yourself. That's correct? So that's simple. The second option is the client has an AdWords account. Okay? Typically, 80% of the cases, he wants you to make the changes in his AdWords accounts. Okay? My preference is that I create a new account and I have all the control and all the rights to it. Okay, that's my preference. Okay, so most clients don't want that, but that's my preference. So you ask, what would you prefer? I prefer also to own the website so I can make all the changes, and I like to own the domain name. That's my preference. But if the client wants to keep their website, I still take on that client. Okay, so there are some preferences, and the preferences are more related to that I want to have a long-term client and I don't get screwed the first 2 months, because setting up and optimizing campaign is the most work. Okay, once you have set up the campaign on the right way, there is not so much work to it. Most clients don't know that. So and I would never tell that. Never tell that, okay? Never tell that you have only to work 1 hour per month on it. Never. They don't like that. Okay? But they they need to pay for your knowledge. Okay? You give them results and you get paid for that. Okay? You get it? So I can tell that to you, but you don't tell it to the client. Okay? What I just did with this campaign is almost invaluable. Okay? That is structured very well. Do you charge more to use their info? No, I like when I see the results in their campaign, I get a lot of information from it. I filter out what works and what doesn't work. So it's kind of pretty easy to make a good campaign if they already test things out. Otherwise, I have to do a lot more homework. So let's summarize this because we are long on the call and I don't want you to overload you. So first training, you learned about keywords. Quick setup, copy and paste. Second training, you learned about keywords. Third training, you learned about ads. Today, the fourth training, you learned about general setup. So now you have a pretty good campaign setup. So what is next? Next is the website. Doesn't make sense if you send traffic to a website, doesn't convert. Next is also to set up conversion tracking because you need to optimize things. Okay, sometimes you don't have a good ROI. Okay, and it's hard to please the client. When you know what works, it's much easier to optimize and so on. Okay, there's so many elements that makes you from a good AdWords manager and professional AdWords manager. Okay, so hope you like it. This is training number 4 and I'm looking for next week Sunday for the next training. Thank you so much.